My loves, welcome to I Am Woke. I'm your host, Evelina Calder. If you're new here, go hit that subscribe button. You're gonna love my channel, likely. Tap the subscribe button, the bell for notifications, so you don't miss any awesome videos or energy updates. I post videos that are energy updates on the new moons, full moons, weekly, all the time, that are a source consciousness channel, an Akashic Records channel. I am a psychic medium, a divine channeler. I am a high performance life coach, a personal branding coach, and a shaman. So those are my things. If all of that sounds like fun to you, go subscribe. I'm happy to have you here. This is a timeless message. This is going to be coming with a source transmission for each and every one of you guys. If you're seeing this when I just channeled a previous stream, yes, I changed. I got cold. So I changed. I'm giving myself permission to do that. What else do I want to say? If you don't know yet, I have a beautiful sacred guided meditation and activation that you can get a hold of in the description link below for free on my website, where I will teach you how to strengthen your own source connection so that you can avoid any dark magic, any black magic, and protect yourself. And the way that I really focus on protection is by focusing on your inner authenticity, your connection to your soul, and your connection to source consciousness and your own creativity. And if all of those things are dialed in and really like constant and consistent, nothing can harm you and nothing can touch you. So you can get a hold of that in the description link below. That actually, I wasn't going to go into like how to protect yourself from black magic a ton, because I think if you're aligned with your source connection, you are protected as long as you're consistently aligned with your source connection the majority of the time. But that meditation will help you get there and create that consistency for yourself and give you some new tools. So go ahead and cop that. And I guess I will just jump right in. I'm going to do a stream of conscious channel. I didn't intend on doing this really ahead of time. It's just been very present. My attention on it, sources had my attention on some protection rituals I've had to do, some acknowledgement of things I didn't know that were going on, that are going on. And in my own awareness, I've come to a lot of conclusions and I've been channeling on them. So I'm going to share them with you because Spirit asked me to. Ultimately, knowledge is power. So if I can help you expand your consciousness around an idea like black magic that is around claiming and taking your power from you, then it can't take power from you, because you will know. You will have consciousness and awakening around it. So you can navigate it with ease. Now, I want to give a couple caveats. I don't actually feel burdened, but I kind of want to cover this because I kind of do. I feel like a little bit burdened that I even have to talk about this, because in my brain, and like, call me innocent, naive, who knows? I just like cannot understand the mentality or the perspective of any human who would wish to override another human's free will and cause ill to them. I don't get it. And I was talking to one of my friends this morning about it, and I was like, I don't get it. And they were like, I don't get it. And I was like, I don't get it. And ultimately, I don't think we're ever going to get it. Because if we got it, we would be on that side. And we're not. We're on the light side. Ironically, I'm wearing black. I think it's not ironic. I think it's beautiful that I'm embracing the darker aspects of polarity while I'm speaking through it. Hi, Andrea. Yeah, like, can we please just talk about that? Like, it drives me insane. I'm always protected, and dear God, you guys are always protected. And if you're on my stream and channel, like literally last night, I asked my guides, I was like, can I pray for everyone on my channel? Because now that I'm understanding just how gnarly black magic is, and when I mean that, I mean like people have been throwing shit my way, like curses and stuff, and they never touch me, but I'm more just infuriated that my awareness even has to be brought to it. I feel inconvenienced by it. Now, it's just funny. The way that I work with that is like, oh, well, it's not an inconvenience if I can teach about it. So I'm going to teach you about it. But I think I'm going to get on my little high horse here, because I know you guys will join me. Like, I think it's wild that other people think it's a good idea to steal other people's power, or to override their free will, or to try to manipulate them in taking actions they think they should take. It blows my effing mind. I cannot understand it. We will not understand it because there is no understanding. It doesn't make sense. You can get everything you want by being with your source connection, right? When you're with your own spirit, you're steered into your destiny, which is specifically cultivated for you and everything you could ever want or ask for. Now, those of you that know that, just know this. You just know this. I think different parts of this message that are going to stream through me are for different people on my channel. I do know, because again, she's psychic, AF. I do know that there's about 10 to 12 people that watch me-ish on my channel that do practice dark magic pretty avidly. So I will be speaking to some of them. I will be speaking to the light workers on my channel, just how to have some understanding and awareness around the darkness. And I don't even want to call it darkness, because darkness isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with the color black. You know, there's nothing wrong with your shadow. Which is why I stay away from these concepts and stay away from black magic, dark magic. But ultimately, I'm going to teach you guys as light workers what some of the tactics are, not the play-by-play, but the frequencies of how to see and understand it, so that you can see when it's happening. It's just like giving you a stream or like a little textbook. They're showing me the Akashic Records of pulling a book off the shelf and saying the TLDR of black magic so you don't get fucked up. And they're giving that to you as a transmission. Okay, from my consciousness to yours. And then what I want to say is there's another group, not just in my audience, but online and on YouTube in general, that they're just starting to learn what magic is. And they're like, oh, this sounds fun. I'm going to play wizard. And I'm going to like do magic and cast spells. And you know what my guide said to me last night? They were like, there are so many of these people that need you to talk about it, Emelina. Because they were like, they have just enough information to be highly fucking dangerous. They have no idea what they're doing. And if you brought some awareness to them, they'd get back on track quick. Because when you start working with dark magic, it takes over your soul. All right, there's a lot of really robust negative karma that's difficult to break out of. There's a purification process that those of you that do light work will understand this. But when we're purified, like we do our work and we are not involved in black magic, it fucking hurts, right? So like if you're involved in black magic or dark witchcraft, spell casting, trying to manipulate others, levels of narcissism and psychopathy where it's about controlling the people around you, that's a level of magic. That these people don't look like magicians. Not all they don't look like dark magicians or dark high priestess. They're just crazy AF. Some of you have dated them. Some of you, they're your parents. Some of them are your kids or religious leaders or whatever. I can't even believe I'm covering this topic right now, but I'm just doing what Spirit's asking me to do. We're here, all right? Andrea, I wanted to look at your comment too, because I saw you pop up and I didn't see what you said. Oh, it's wild. It's wild. It is wild. And you're stepping into your power. Yeah, in the end, it benefits me, but it fucking sucks. Totally. It does. And I agree with you. In the end, for myself as well, I can never be touched. Truly. Really. Anyone that tries to send any shade my way, I'm like, good luck, because I am blessed and highly favored. And when I say that, I'm not fucking around. I have massive spiritual protection, and I've been working on it for over a decade. I have massive ascended masters and guides. I have big access. So it's like whenever anyone tries to like throw shit at me, I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about that because I got guards in place, but that's gonna burn. Like, enjoy the enjoy the burn. Like, I don't know, don't mess with me. Spiritually, are you fucking kidding me? Do not. Unless you want to get burned, unless you like enjoy that. So anyway, welcome to the talk show. I do think I'm gonna officially start a podcast, by the way. and start interviewing people. Now I'm hot. I'm just like, gosh, I can't pick a lane, Emelina. Like, too hot, too cold. I don't know. Okay. Let me think about what I want to say about this. I'm going to start tracking this into the conversation. Again, this video is mainly for the light workers to understand some of the types of magic so that when it comes across your plate, you can just create your own protection ritual, which really is your connection to source. If you're connected to source, you're protected. You're on your highest timelines, you're protected. You are blessed and highly favored. What I do frequently, maybe I'll give you guys some examples. I'm trying to think if I can or if I should. I'm actually going to check into my channel. I'm always discerning like what needs to be said or not said. It's exhausting. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of like dumb this down in a way. So there are light forces in this universe. There are dark forces in this universe. And by dark, we mean those who wish to cause ill on others, that harvest the power of others, that draw their this is how we'll explain it. That draw their power from other people's life force, from dominating other people's life force. When you're with the light, you draw your power from source consciousness. All right? You draw your power from your authentic truth. You draw your power from your authentic connection, from your heart, from your Kundalini energy, from your ability to radiate. When you are not with the light, when you have sided with dark forces and are in alignment with that, in cahoots with that, excuse me, they don't have access to source energy. Not permanently, they have just chosen to shut off their access to source energy. So if you think about it like this, if you don't have access to source, where do you get your energy? You get it from harvesting other people's energy. And it becomes an activity of how much energy can you harvest, in what sorts of ways, and what sorts of energy types or emotions give more energy. Anything that's highly fear-based creates a lot of energy, right? My stomach's even churning talking about this. But I'm really just bringing awareness to it so you guys can, well, I mean, source, tell me what is this specifically? So you can see and perceive the darkness when it's upon you, near you, around you, or near anyone you love and adore, so that you can help yourself and others reconnect back to the light, reconnect back to source, because that is the ultimate protection. Now, what I was going to say a moment ago is wherever I'm walking, wherever I am biking, wherever I'm in a car, a bus, a train, a plane, I'm constantly setting protection on my path for everywhere that I travel. All right. I pray for protection. I pray to be safe and sacred on the way to where it is that I am going in every way possible, in every timeline, space, and dimensional reality. And, you know, it's kind of funny. One of my friends is like, wait, do we have to do this work all the time? I'm like, I don't know. I'm setting prayers and intentions like on the way to everything that I want all the time. So I pray for safety a lot. And something my guides stream through as a prayer is I pray to be made in a safe and happy way. So whatever conditions are coming forward for spirit to make me into who I'm meant to become, for me to birth the parts of myself, the expressions that are new for me, I pray for those circumstances to be done in a way that would leave me both safe and happy and enjoyable. And I love that they gave me that caveat, because if you just say I pray to be made, it can come with different circumstances. You could think about that like, actually, I'm not even going to go into it. It's fine. Okay, so Spirit, where else do you want to lead me in this conversation? Teach them the differences. Okay, I'm going to cover black magic, dark magic in a number of different ways, just so that you have the discernment. That's it. This is like an education ritual training that I didn't even know I was going to do until now. But I've been channeling on it a lot the last few days to understand just what I've been dealing with, honestly. Okay, so they're showing me witchcraft first. All right. And please don't take this out of context. Don't judge me. Don't hate me. All right. I'm not saying all witchcraft. I actually am totally unfamiliar with witchcraft. Marzi, can you explain Jinn too? I actually don't know Jinn. Is that the Chinese? I feel like it's like a negative energy, or is that oh my gosh, I feel like one of my friends has told me about that, but I'm not sure. Okay, so let me again, I'm gonna go back over to witchcraft. I am not I don't know much about Wicca. I don't know much about witchcraft. I have never been the person to like spells or do things. Marzi, you said Arabic. Yeah, I have no idea. I think they're spirits, but I'll cover what I cover and whatever overlaps. Great. So over to witchcraft again. Don't hate me. All right, I'm the messenger. I'm just going to tell you my perspective from where I am. If it doesn't resonate, let it go. If it resonates, great, then the message is for you. I'm saying that because I know, especially on YouTube, there's a big community of witches and a big community of witchcraft. I'm not saying it's all terrible, because there are good witches and good witch doctors and good ways of working with herbal medicine, which I would say is very similar to shamanism. But again, for you to understand my perspective, I am not involved in witchcraft. I have not practiced it. It has never been a thing for me. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because it tends to be a gateway for a lot of black magic, all right? There are a lot of people that practice witchcraft that do it because they think it's fun. They do it because it's become popular. They do it because it's in every freaking movie out there. And again, I'm not punishing witchcraft, so please hear the in-between of the frequencies that I'm expressing right now, all right? And no judgment. It's just that witchcraft is so forwardly popular. It's so trendy. And I don't know that, I mean, maybe it is, and you guys can drop them in the comments, but I don't know that it's really covered like the gray in between what is black witchcraft, black magic, black tantra, black, what is overpowering other people's free will versus what is working with source. And there are witchcrafts that work with source. I don't know them. Again, not familiar. I'm just here to like be the base of operation to get you the, I don't know, the base of knowledge that spirit wants to send through. Again, so witchcraft has gotten very trendy, and I'm mentioning that because it's become very popular for people to go to stores now where there's a lot of witchcraft things that include a lot of dark magic. All right. I don't know what the I mean, there are going to be positive things around certain I don't even have the vocabulary. I'm just going to cover what I'm going to cover, and I'm going to assume that you guys are going to get it. And if you don't, feel free to educate me and or understand my intention is exactly what I said in the video. I think I'll just stick to that and just not feed the peanut gallery. I am going to speak in polarities because that is what this conversation is right now. If I don't choose a polarity to speak to it and come from that perspective, then my argument or my like perspective gets very weak and then it does nothing. So it's not to say that I am in total like solidifying one perspective. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I feel like I need to. So clearly this needs to be said this way. Anyway, I hope that you'll be understanding because I'm just going to take some stands and say some shit and run my mouth. And I expect that those of you that do practice good witchcraft and that are witches of the light, and I'm going to go into magicians as well, magicians of the light will understand that this message isn't for you. Okay? Great. End of PSA. Witchcraft has gotten very popular, which has generated a very wide audience of people that enjoy the idea that they can manipulate their reality by throwing a bunch of shit into a cauldron, by burning a bunch of different shit, by combining things, by, oh, I didn't know I can manipulate my reality. And it's not from like manifestation, it's actually from dark magic, but they don't know the difference. The thing about dark magic is it's very seductive. It's very seductive. And actually they're channeling that through as another method. Those of you that have dark sexuality, that is black magic, okay? And I'm not saying things with consent in the bedroom with a lover that wants to be there with you and express whatever might come through, and there can be dark things in sex, and that can be okay with consent. That's not what this is for either. It's for the women and the men that use their seductive power to overpower other people's energy. Maybe we'll get into that in a side tangent as it's coming up. I didn't even realize that was a level of magic. It is. Sexual magic is real. Now, I always align to like Kundalini magic, like light magic, like light sex work, like not work, light sex magic, which is using your own sexual energy to work with source to create what it is that is like being birthed out of your soul. Anyway, sidestepping that. Okay. The reason why I wanted to center on witchcraft specifically is because I think it's the most seductive in our culture. I think vampirism is kind of right next to it, because I know the vampires have been, there's so much, I don't track all of it, but you know, all the vampire movies and stuff like that. It's just seductive. There isn't much education around it, and a lot of people, they're showing me a lot of young souls being so enticed by the idea that they can actually have control over something, and then looking for shops, and then starting to look into like spell work, which even the word spells we can use in a number of different ways, you know, manifestations, speaking affirmations, those can be spells too, but I'm speaking specifically to witchcraft. All right. Anyway, you guys get it. It can be good. A lot of it can be dark. And here's how you can discern the difference for yourselves and others. If it's not respecting someone's free will, it's dark. If it's overpowering someone's decisions, it's dark. If it is using force or manipulation, it's dark. If it is prioritizing control, it is dark. Spirit is surrender. It's the opposite of control. Now, I wrote a note down that is reminding me why I wanted to talk about witchcraft specifically, because I feel like it's also gotten very popular for people to cast love spells. Y'all need to stop doing those. Like, unless it is just for yourself, you cannot make someone love you. If you do, that is dark magic. And it's been brought to my attention because of some things around me, just how much that is going on in like present day society. And let me tell you, most of you on this channel won't need to hear this, but whatever, it's being said anyway. For those of you that think that it's sexy, it's not sexy. Do not go doing love spells. Do not try to control people to love you. That's not possible. You can't control love. Love is the flow of source. It is the flow of the universe. It is organic. Also, you cannot miss what's yours. The right lovers will always meet you. As long as you are patient, you are with your source connection, you are dedicated to yourself, you are stepping into your own authenticity. What is meant for you, whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's career opportunity, housing, will come to you. Andrea, I have an astrologer I've worked with since my first awakening to spirituality, who's done protection and wealth rituals for me. Oh, well, it depends. It's not all, it's not, yeah, this is why this is such a hard conversation. Not all rituals are bad. And actually, Andrea, I remember you telling me about, oh my gosh, Aoife? Right. There's a lot of good ritual work. It's just the question you always want to ask yourself to see what, now I see why Spirit's having me do this message. The question that you want to ask yourself to see whether or not it's the right sort of magic, because a lot of magic's good, is that, does it respect the laws of free will? Is it with source, or is it trying to control a circumstance? The two biggest things, and I have this all over my website too, and I state it whenever I can because it's just been so important to me in my work, especially my channeling work, is that, you know, I respect free will. I respect free will laws. That's why those of you that have followed some of my soulmate channels, like why I say like I open my hands and I'm like I love openly is because I'm in such respect of free will. I'm not here to override anyone's free will, and I know how damaging that can be. So if you are wondering whether or not a magic or a ritual is good, or if it's dark, it comes down to, are you with source? Yes or no. If you give it up to source and you're surrendering through the ritual, rituals are beautiful. I'm not telling you not to do magic through ritual work. I'm more just educating around what is dark so that there's an understanding around it. It has to be in respect to free will. So you're not overriding anyone's power. You're not overpowering anyone. You're not manipulating anyone. You're not cajoling anyone. You're not forcing anyone. You're not controlling anyone. Are those all the words we got? Do we have more? All your typical standard narcissistic psychopathic behaviors are black magic. And they look like normal humans walking this earth, and they're practicing black magic on the freaking daily. Okay. What was I talking about? Love spells. Kick that shit to the curb, you guys. No love spells. If you're doing a love spell, you do it on yourself. You do it for self-love. You do it for your ability to attract the right partner, the divine selection for you, your counterpart to be made known to you. Andrea, I guess the question would be, can a person pretend to be working good for me and then use it for bad without my knowledge? They could, but you could override it. I mean, it's like, can a person say they're doing good, but do something behind the scenes? I mean, ultimately, yes. But you're going to know for yourself what the decision was, because you'll feel it intuitively. And you can override it. So you can just choose everything that's done for me, everything that's done around me, anything I'm inspired or led to is with source. I've been asking my angels to help me let go of the fear. So this conversation is helpful. I'm glad. Yeah. You kind of like just program yourself. And by program, I mean, just embrace the energy of if it feels like it's inspired from me, if I'm led to it, then it must be good. And if I were in your position, I'd be like, as long as I am always in surrender and I am always in respect to free will, then if there was any nonsense, it'll just be erased and only the good will be available. I don't like the fear. Yeah, you're right. I don't like the fear of getting caught up in thinking that other people have control over you, because they don't. If you're in your source connection, nothing can touch you. You are untouchable. All right. It's just about maintaining your source connection. And then you can actually override all of this other nonsense going on because it has to do with your energy. So your energy is the dominant intention, especially if someone's working on your behalf. God is so with me, so I'm letting go. Yes. Don't worry about it. If it is of concern, you can just do a forgiveness prayer. The Ho'oponopono prayer is the easiest. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive you. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. Another version of that, and these are done to negate any attachment to anything that might not be for you. Anything where guilt sets in for me, I immediately start going into this prayer for anything. I'm like, oh, did I screw up? Shit. Thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, I love you. And I'll say it over and over again in my head as an affirmation. Yeah, another way of doing it is saying, oh my gosh, let me try to remember this one. Come on, Spirit, bring it forward. What's this prayer? It's like, on behalf of the highest good and the highest love, I now forgive myself. And on behalf of the highest good and the highest love, I now forgive anyone who, I now forgive anyone who has hurt me. On behalf of the highest frequency of love, I now forgive anyone who I have hurt. And you go over and over and over again between those two statements. That's another really like wonderful negating practice, removing any negative charges you have towards anything or anyone that might be holding you in a deeper karmic pattern. Okay. Ultimately, don't override anyone's free will. That's all dark magic is. It's power. It's overpowering people around you. I love how God sends you live as an angel in my life. Oh, I love that. That's what I mean. I didn't want to talk about this because, like, I'm so grateful. Oh, I'm grateful for you. I didn't want to talk about this stuff because it's just not sexy, but it's like, that's like what keeps it in the dark, like literally in the shadows. So then people don't know. So then that creates confusion, and confusion is where fear sets in, which then people can be controlled or can be manipulated or can be overpowered or their free will overridden because they don't understand, because confusion is the devil. Like, how else do you want me to say it? Like, I don't know. Confusion is the fear. So the more clarity we can bring to things, the more God is invited into the conversation, the more you can connect with source around it. So I'm happy to be here, even though I am very crunchy about talking about it because nobody in my inner circle enjoys black magic. Okay, so let me describe the other ways that it can come forward. So yeah, witchcraft. Oh my gosh, what were the others? Magicians. Let me just write it down so I remember. Oh, and then high priestesses. Okay. The dark side of these. Okay, so I'm sure I can fall into the categories of these archetypes as a light worker. I don't consider myself a witch, but perhaps I could be a good witch. I don't generally consider myself a magician, but I'm sure I have positive magician tendencies. And for sure, I consider myself a high priestess, but certainly not a dark high priestess. I am a light high priestess. I am in highest service. That's my divine channel. And in this world, we have polarity, we have opposites. For everything light, there is an equal and opposite dark. So just painting the picture of all of it. So what does dark magic on the magician side look like, or the wizard side? I love wizards. I love magicians too. They're fun. But as an archetype. But let me paint the dark shadowed side so you guys can understand that. When does the magic become dark magic? Magicians create magic generally based on thought. Okay, so it's a more mental process of doing magic, which again, magic is fine. Magic for working for yourself, for the light, for manifesting is great. That's like affirmations. That's like spells in the way of using your word as your wand to create a better reality for yourself. The way that magicians move into dark work and hurt others is when they focus on projecting their thoughts toward others with such a level of power that it overrides the other people's thoughts. That's what we would call, I mean, all of these are psychic attacks, but that's what I would call a psychic attack. It is a mental body, astral projection of thought that they do to try to control you. Another way of covering magicians in a more like human, current day, modern way is a level of psychosis. Sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissists, even some borderline. The way that they think is they try to control the other people's thoughts around them, to control their actions. That's all dark magician work, just FYI. So that's the modern way of going about it. And then of course there's like your standard dark magicians that are literally like sitting behind their computer or meditation space and going, I'm going to overpower this person with my magic. And they're sending them negative thoughts. Make them do this, make them do that, whatever. Like, it's the same thing as witchcraft. It's just more thought-based as opposed to like lighting candles. I don't know, you know. Then there's high priestess work. High priestess. But there's dark high priestess and light high priestess, right? Just like everything. Your dark high priestess are very powerful. And these are in hierarchical order too. So there's like witches, Magicians, priestesses or priests. Oh, let's touch on the priest archetype. So a man of the cloth, right? Like we could look at priests that are very saintly. And then there are priests that are molesting children. You get what I'm saying? Like there is dark. I hate to go there, but this is just where the spirit is taking me right now. There's dark and then there's light. Are you with source or are you overpowering other people or even children's free will? That the priest and the priestess energy are like just the masculine and feminine components. High priestess are going to be, I'm a divine channel. I'm in the high priestess category. I am a priestess. What's the dark version of that? Is like, it's a channel, but it's a channel for the darkness, right? It's a channel for real low vibrational entities. It's a channel for any level of demon. I hate talking about this shit, by the way. I'm like, well, like, but I feel like it needs to be done. Let me just check in with spirit as well and see what else I need to cover for education. Okay, so they're saying I'm doing well, but to stay towards the source consciousness. So what do you guys want me to say about that? A high priestess of the light. They're asking me to explain a high priestess of the light. A high priestess of the light is allowing, and there are a lot of us out there, allowing us to be a vessel of the word of God, right? A vessel of spiritual awareness. Using, like for example, using my psychic abilities to tap into source, understand the light codes, and translate them and deliver them to you guys so you have access to more of your power and more of your own empowerment as a divine being. Anything that empowers you is with the light. Anything that is disempowered or advice that is disempowered is not. That's like an easy way of looking at that as well. And I'm just going to check in with them again. Is there anything else I need to say on high priestess? There are many different types of high priestesses, okay? There are, there are some in different ritualistic practices. It doesn't remove ritual. All right, so high priestesses can work with ritual magic. It's just in the light. It is with source. It is with divine will being the source of consciousness that dictates what's going to happen. Is there another way I can explain that? One of my friends is an Ifa priestess. She's a priestess of the light. I'm a priestess of the light. There's some traditions working with the goddess Isis. That's sexual alchemy work. That is also light of the light of source of creation. And what else do you guys want to say through me? They just said, welcome to the new paradigm. You've course corrected or created a new portal of awareness. I'm just going to stream through and just say whatever they're saying through. You've opened up a new portal of awareness to which those who were confused around what activities were dark or were light would be able to steer themselves towards the light aspects of their own ability to consciously choose the magic they desire to work with, for it is empowering for those of you who are drawn into magic to work with your own inner magic, your own inner alchemy, to create and manifest the life of your absolute dreams. And this conversation, although kind of uncomfortable for me, gives the codes and awareness to clear up any confusion for you around what is, again, the energies of the witch, the magician, the high priestess, and the seductress. And I'm using this all in feminine terms, but it's both feminine and masculine, right? We can say witch. What's the other one? A warlock, right? What's a feminine magician, you guys? A wizard? The high priestess or the high priest. Oh, they're reminding me of mages. There are dark mages too, or light mages. A mage is a person that's beginning to work with magic, almost hierarchically below the magician, similar to a witch or a warlock. If you guys want to fast, like TLDR, which is like Reddit slang for like too long didn't read on magic, if you want to learn magic, the understanding of between these polarities of black and white, I have a kid's show for you. That is freaking adorable. And it is my favorite. It's one of my favorites. And it's called The Dragon Prince. I think there's like 7 seasons of it too. It's beautiful. It'll even, like, if you watch that show, it goes into the elementals, the dragons, the elves. Like, there's so much dynamic awareness around it. Like, being a mage, working with magic, working with elemental magic. There's an elf that works with dark magic. So they teach you all the subtle, like, consistencies of it. And every time you work with dark magic in this show, you have to take from the life force of another being. They just show it so easily, like, for the mind to understand the subtleties of this conversation, for you to understand what's dark and what's light, if that's helpful for anyone or whoever that message is for. All right, Spirit, is there anything else you want to share? They said, call it quits, you're done. If you guys have any questions, curiosities, things you want me to cover in or around this or anything else, drop a comment down below. I am open to having conversations around these things, even if I don't think they're the most popular, which who knows? I mean, maybe the video will do well, but regardless, for you guys to know, like, I have just like been like this with dark magic. I'm like, I don't give a F. I don't want to know anything about it. And I steer all of my consciousness towards the light. And I think it's a very good way of handling it. And most of my friends do the same thing. But my consciousness has been brought around to how I've been protected by my own spiritual channel and what sorts of BS was being thrown at me and people around me, just for me to be able to see it, understand the frequency and the signature, to then help protect around it, and really just bringing awareness to it so we can understand the subtle differences of our own inner alchemy and our own inner magic. Again, it comes down to empowerment for you and others. Is this empowering for you? Is it empowering for others? Are you respecting your free will, and are you respecting the free will of everyone involved? Are you aligning with, what's your intention, right? Are you aligning with the intention to respect the free will of all involved, to work on behalf of the highest good of yourself and the highest good of everyone connected to you and all involved? Or are you working against the highest good? That's this conversation. You know, it's about setting the intention consistently. I respect the laws of free will in this universe. I respect my intention is for the good of all involved, the highest good of all involved, my highest good as well, the highest good of everyone connected to me. It's pretty simple. That will keep you in the light. And then remembering we are human, and those of you that are light sometimes will slip up too. And you might be like, you know, am I trying to subtly manipulate someone around me? And we're human, we do things. It's just like, where's the majority of your effort? Are you willing to take accountability and responsibility for when you do screw up, and then reroute it, say a forgiveness prayer, right? I do them all the time. I will actually say that the Ho'oponopono forgiveness prayer while I'm playing my singing bowl for like 5 to 10 minutes. That does some substantial clearing. You can do it singing. Those of you who have guitars, you could play it play on guitar. There's something about the sound helping it to do more. It actually amplifies the vibration, if you can get on board with that. I saw Andrea come in again. Yeah, you're gonna watch because you love kid shows. It's a great kid show. And hold on. Oh, Awaken Love, Free Yourself. Same girlfriend. I didn't know people did such things until a year ago. I had some idea. Like, I've got people in my awareness. I'm like, what are y'all doing? But, and of course, again, it never touches me. But my awareness recently, last week, I was like, who's doing what? Like, what came in? Like, they're feeding me information in my downloads and in my psychic channel. And I'm like, no way. I was like, you're lying to me. No way. Who's doing what? Like, how? Anyway. So, and for you guys to remember with magic too, it's like, it's just understanding people's intentions. And if you don't know what's going on, like, it's just understanding their intention. Is their intention of purity? Do they have a pure heart? Or do they have a contaminated heart and they're looking to control and manipulate? And that is for yourself as well. Because even for those of us that are light, there might be some interference within ourselves, some inner conflict that creates us wanting to control or manipulate a situation because that's how we feel safe. And it's up to us. Again, does not make you bad. It just means that that's like a part of your consciousness that needs to be like pressing up the walls of the consciousness, like massaged out so that you can free yourself from your own internal conflict. And of course, Source takes that into account. You are given a certain amount of leeway when you are aligned with Source. You're aligned with your highest truth. You're aligned with expressing that truth from your soul. You're aligned with the highest good. You're aligned with free will. Source gives some grace, you know? You're allowed to screw up because Source knows you're going to reroute it. You're going to go back and forgive it. Forgive yourself, forgive others, pick it up. Make new choices that are better choices. And you'll be forgiven for that from Source too. So don't be scared, I guess is what I'm saying. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you for being here with me. Again, if you have any questions or anything you want me to cover, drop a comment below. Is there anything else I want to say? I love you. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're with Source. I'm happy to bring you the good message today. This is one of my protectors. Rawr. It's my panther. Okay, that's what I got. Lots of love. Alrighty, peace, you guys.